civil liberties activist, and he's live with me here in Paris. So you must have been happy, Yasser, when the French court ruled that the ban needed to be lifted.
I wasn't that much happy. I was more like, we had to go all the way to the highest authorities in France just to grant women their right to dress however they wish on public beaches. And the fact that we have several mayors who decided to go against the decision and to continue implementing this ban shows that, the rule of law only applies to the powerful here in France. So you can use the law however you wish.
But so and I discussed this with Bernard Kouchner, some of the latest polls, and he said he didn't believe the poll numbers, but quite frankly, they come up again and again. 64% of French people say they are opposed to wearing a burkini on a public beach. Of French people, 30% say they're indifferent. What do you make of those numbers, though?
These are the results of 15 years of mainstreamization of Islamophobia in France. When you have constantly anti-Muslim rhetoric being held in the public sphere by politicians, by various academics and intellectuals, constantly upholding the idea that Muslims are trying to implement their own ideals, that they don't want to adhere to French values, that they are a threat and the enemy within, as Manuel Valls said it, after 15 years, people become scared of their own neighbors and our own workmates.
But why are there more women, and this is absolutely an undeniable trend in the Muslim communities in France, more and more women wearing headscarves, more and more women wanting to wear outfits like the burkini. Why is this outward expression symbol of belonging to the Muslim faith becoming more prevalent?
Just like for the burkini, we'll have to ask them first why they do that. I'm a man, so I can speak on their behalf. Second, we definitely have a rising visibility of French Muslims, and that's a good sign because that means they feel home, this is their country, and they should dress however they wish, as long as they don't impose their ideas upon others. And the fact that we have had a series of laws specifically targeting Muslims, the 2004 ban against the hijab in public schools, the full-face veil, we had the debate on the hijab in universities, etc. Women are just saying, you know what, I'm going to wear this whether you like it or not.
So you are opposed to the ban on full-face veils, the niqab. You think that goes against the woman's right to dress any way she wants?
I think we should have had a study and ask the women who were wearing it why they wore it. Again, we had white males deciding on minority women and legislating directly against them. We issued a law against, let's say, 400, 500 women, but we could not issue a law to crack down on tax evasion, which is costing us 80 billion euros a year in France.
Yes, but that's another point, because a lot of people would be in favor of banning full-face veils. They see that as an entirely different thing.
Yeah, well, if women tell you, I want to wear something, are you going to legislate against that? If tomorrow women show up and say, well, I want to dress this way, leather skirts or whatever, are you going to again say...
So you equate those two things, the full-face veil or the burkini, and a miniskirt and a bikini. You think all of that is on the same spectrum?
I think the bodies of women need to stop being ideological battlefields. Honestly, you ask them what they want, and if they tell you this is how I want to dress, let them be.
Are you worried in France about rising tensions, though? We see it in Corsica, Muslim French people and other Corsicans fighting. You're seeing a lot of hostility between communities, not just directed at Muslims, but Muslims directing them at other French people.
And that's the result of years of irresponsible policies. When we have politicians from the right and the left constantly igniting fire between different communities and constantly using identity debates to turn French people against one another.
Is the responsibility not shared here?
I think it comes from the top. Racism is injected by the elites, and then it comes down, and we see the results in everyday life. I do agree with our philosopher Jacques Rancière, who says French elites are overwhelmingly racist, and they maintain these racist views, which translate in violence in everyday life.
Okay, Yasser Louati, those are strong words. I know some people would disagree with you on the fact that French intellectuals are all necessarily racist. But what's interesting is that we get your point of view.
I did not say they are all. I said some of them and some of the most influential. Many of them are good. Many of them are the overwhelming majority is good, actually.
Good. Okay. Thank you for that clarification.
Definitely, yeah.
Yasser Louati, we really appreciate your time here with us this evening. The burkini ban has become a major issue in